Welcome to Breaking the Chains. Today I'm going to be speaking with Elizabeth Linder. So, how did you end up in Ghana?
I'm in Ghana because my daughter married a Ghanaian gentleman and I blessed their marriage, so I wound up moving to Africa with them for a short period of time.
Did you ever intend on living in Africa?
Not in my wildest dreams.
Had you ever visited before?
No, I never visited before.
When you first landed in Ghana, how did that feel?
Oh, felt it felt good. It was kind of like landing in Bahamas, in the Caribbean, but it had a somewhat of a warmer feeling because the atmosphere changed in that um, the world around me just really it changed real fast. I mean, it took on a totally different look within seconds, really.
Give me like a little more detail on what that experience was like. Like, what do you mean by that?
Well, for the most part, I'm a relatively observative person, and as we move through the customs process, I started to notice I didn't see anything but black people. Everybody working was black, and most people traveling was black, and it just, the atmosphere just changed. Uh, and within 30 minutes, everything I seen was black people.
So, how were you treated when you got here?
Oh, queenly. I was treated real nice.
What do you mean when you say you were treated queenly?
Um, well, actually, when I first came over, and sometimes even now, the people on the street they just kind of bow to me, like I'm a queen or something, and I'm like, what is that about? I speak back and whatever because I don't know the language, but it was just different for me, and that's why I say they treat you sort of queenly.
Do you know why they're treating you like that?
Well, I've asked questions about it, and I think it's basically about they just respect the elders. They
Mm-hmm.
have a high, very, very high respect for the elders. They love older people. They go over and above and beyond the call of duty when it comes to older people. They really do.
I remember when we first got here, you said that you would say that you were still looking for the hungry people.
Yes.
So tell me about that.
Hmm. People in America have this thing about African people. There are a lot of hungry people in Africa. And so when I got here, I was looking for the hungry people in Africa. I'm seeing fruit and food all up and down the road. You can buy a meal for $1. Just about. No, I'm sorry, a seti. It's not $1. It's a seti. You can buy something to eat for a seti anywhere, just riding along the road. You don't have to pull over. The hawkers, they call them. I learned their names. They call hawkers. The hawkers will bring your stuff, brings food to your window, and just about anything else that you want. But the thing was, if people in Africa are so hungry, why do I see food, oranges and bananas and stuff spoiling beside the streets? These people ain't hungry that I can see. If they're hungry because they want to be hungry.
Right.
They ain't hungry because they got to be hungry.
Right.
Because you can get a meal just about any place here. As a matter of fact, you can. I've been when he was in the hospital, and I needed some water one day, and I said I need some water, but I didn't have any change on me, and the girl heard me, and she gave me a bag of water. It's not a bag of water don't cost that much money, but it costs.
Right. Right.
She gave me a bag of water, and so I I'm an old sucker anyway. The next day when I passed by her, I gave her a cedi. The water only cost 20 pesos, but I gave her a cedi because the day before I didn't have any money on me,
Mm-hmm.
and she heard me say I didn't have the money, and gave me water.
So, what has been the most challenging thing for you to adjust to being here?
Probably the language,
Mm-hmm.
um, not understanding the language, not being able to not to speak the language and understand the language. But
Mm-hmm.
so many of them speak English that it's not really a problem.
Okay. Are there any other challenges that you weren't expecting?
Yeah, there are a lot of challenges I wasn't expecting. No, lights out.
Yeah.
That's been a big one for me. Um, the water situation, having to um, have two different types of water that you one that you drink from and one that you wash clothes from, really, and wash your body from.
Mm-hmm.
That's been a challenge for me because it's completely new for me.
Mm-hmm.
I understand it now that I've been here for a while. I've learned I have a new respect for water now. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I can do a few things with some water that I couldn't do before I came to Africa.
You said you used to say that Africans can do a lot with a little bit of water.
They can do more with a little bit of water than any people I've ever seen in my life. I can't, and I can't believe, and I really look at them close when they're doing things with water. It's almost like it's an art to it.
Mm.
You can you stretch your water, and I've learned to stretch water since I've been here, and I think that's a good thing.
It is. It's good. It's good for conservation,
Hmm.
and something that we need to learn how to do.
Yes.
And on this earth anyway. Can you tell me what it is that you wish you knew then that you know now?
Well, if I had known 10 years ago that Africa was as accepting of us as I think they are, I would probably have looked at things differently. But because of the propaganda that we have been under for 500 or more years, uh, I didn't explore the African agenda very much. I just didn't do it because it was just sort of something that other people would do, not necessarily me.
How do you feel about me moving to Ghana?
Well, I know it was going to be a challenge. I feel okay about it. I really do. If I didn't, I would never have came with you.
If you could give uh, parents of those, the people in my generation who are thinking about making this move or making the move, despite what anyone may feel, if you could give them, if you could say anything to them, what would it be?
Support your children. And allow them to grow and flourish. With we have gotten older. We're not equipped to do the things that they can do. Let's stay vigilant and listening and looking and doing the things that we do as parents here. Come here and do the same thing that you would have done in America or any place else. That's what I've done. I've come here, I've watched my daughter learn how to do all kinds of different things and adjust to different kinds of situations and be able to say to her when she's not adjusting well that you're not adjusting well. And you need to look at it from a different perspective. Sometimes us parents have to do that. We we're going to have our pros and our cons about this move back to Africa because it's so new for all of us. And it's a bit scary in a sense. You know, it's a whole new world. It's a new world order. And I guess I've just always been crazy enough to believe that if you want to do it bad enough, you'll do it.
Absolutely.
And basically, that's what has been happening with my kids. They said they were going to move to Africa, and I kind of laughed at first. I said, okay. Then about a month later, they were still talking the same thing. I was like, oh, okay, they're serious. They really going to move to Africa. And then I had to start thinking, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to move with them to Africa? Or are you going to stay back here in America and worry about what's going on in Africa? I had a choice to make. So I came to Africa.
You're getting ready to go back to the U.S. You've been back to America once already. How was that for you?
A little bit different. I start to see things from a different perspective. Your world, the world, as I said, the world around you tends to change. You know, I'm back in U.S. Seeing things I've seen all my life, and they don't have the same flair to them that they had before. I've learned and accepted a simpler lifestyle, and I think it's better for me. So many of the things that I was concerned with when I lived in America, I just wasn't concerned with anymore. Let's live and let live.